Hello everybody, welcome to Shyam's Storytime. Today I have another interesting story of King Vikramaditya. Today's story is called Precious Pink Pearl. Okay, are you ready to listen? King Vikramaditya pulled down the corpse, hung it on his shoulders and walked towards the crematorium. The Vetala told him another story. The story went like this. Once upon a time there was a great king. The king had 3 sons and he decided that he would divide his wealth between all the 3 princes. So the king called the 3 princes and told them that he would divide his wealth equally amongst all the 3 of them. The 3 of them were very happy, but at the end of it, the king added, I have a very, very precious gem. It's a pink colored pearl. And I don't want to divide it into 3 to give it to you. I would want to give it to one of you who is the noblest of the all, for which I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give you each 1 year, at which time you can go around, travel, go to different places, meet with different people and come back and tell me what is the noblest act you have done. Based on each of your noblest acts, I'm going to judge which is the best amongst the 3, and to that person I'm going to give this precious pink pearl. The 3 of them decided, yes, they would take up this challenge. So a day was decided and all the 3 of them went in different directions. They went to different places, met with different people, did different things, and as per their agreement, the 3 of them returned home after 1 year. So the king called all the 3 of them and said, please tell me what is the noblest act you have done. The first son said, I went to this neighboring kingdom and I worked for a rich merchant. One day he gave me a bag full of precious gems and asked me to deliver it to his friend who was staying in the adjoining village. He did not even count the number of gems, or he did not evaluate the value of them. I could have easily stolen many of them there, he wouldn't have known. But I did not do it at all. I carried the bag and delivered it to his friend. Even his friend certified me that I was a very, very honest person. This is the noblest act I have done, said the first prince. Then the second prince said, I also did a noble act. As I went to the neighboring kingdom, I was traveling with my horse. I felt so tired. I tied my horse near a riverbank. Then I drank some water and I was sleeping. Suddenly, I heard the wailing sound of a lady. When I woke up, I noticed that a little child was getting washed away in the river. The mother was screaming for help. Without any second thought, I jumped into the river. I saved the child and gave it to the mother. The mother thanked me profusely. This is the noblest act I have done. The third prince said, I have not done anything very noble yet, but one thing that I could consider as a good act was this. After spending a whole year, I was on the way back to our kingdom, and I was thinking to myself, I have not done anything great at all. And as I was walking, it was dawn, and I noticed that there was a man sleeping at the edge of a cliff. When he would roll in his sleep, he can fall into the deep gorge there. I realized that this man would have gone to sleep at night, not realizing that it was the edge of a cliff. Immediately, I ran up the cliff and I wanted to save him. When I went nearby, I noticed that he was actually my enemy. He had tried to kill me at many instances. One moment I thought, even if he was my enemy, it's fine, he has to be saved. So I woke him up and said, please move away, you're at the edge of a cliff. The moment he looked at me, he also understood that I was his enemy. He did not even thank me, he just glared at me and walked away. Now, the king was listening to these 3 stories told by the princes. He told them to come back in the evening, and the king pondered over all the 3 stories. The evening, all the 3 princes came back to the king. The king said that I'm going to give the precious pink pearl to my 3rd son. At this time, the Vetal stopped the story and asked, King Vikramaditya, why do you think the king gave the pink pearl to his 3rd son? Was it not a noble act to have saved a child from the gushing waters of a river? Was it not good that the first son did not steal any diamonds or other precious gems when he delivered it? So whereas the 3rd son only realized that it was an enemy and just asked him to move away. How did the king decide this? Was it the right thing? Asked Vetal. The Vetal also added, if you opened your mouth and spoke a word, I would fly back to my tree. But if you know the answer to this question and still kept quiet, your head would burst into a million pieces. King Vikramaditya smiled and said, I have an answer to your question. And told this. The king was right in the fact that he gave the pink pearl to his third son. The first two princes' story were indeed good. The first one, where he did not steal anything, was an act of honesty. There is nothing noble in it. As for the second prince, yes, he saved a little child from the river. It was also an act of bravery. There was nothing noble in it. Whereas the third son, the moment he realized that it was his enemy, he could have just walked away. But he decided, even if it was my enemy, I will have to save him, and he asked him to move away. The first two acts given by the first and the second princes could have been because they wanted to do something noble, whereas the third prince did not do it because he wanted to earn a name, because it was an enemy that he saved. So I feel that the king was right in saying that the noblest of the three acts was done by the third. The vetal was indeed so surprised and said, how come, Vikramaditya, you're always giving me the right answer? I'm so glad that you're a wise person, but you have broken your silence. Now I'm going to fly back to the tree. It vanished. Did King Vikramaditya go and fetch the vetal once again? Yes, he did. But you must wait for the next episode to hear that story. I hope you liked today's story. If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel, 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐧𝐠. You will have access to all the stories that I upload. Every Saturday, you get to hear a story of King Vikramaditya in English, and on Sundays, you get to hear a Panchatantra tale in Tamil. Watch, listen, and enjoy all these tales. My name is Shyamala, and I am a passionate storyteller. I will meet you in the next story.